Hi Balaji, hi Dharma. Hi
Good
Kishan.
morning, sir.
Hi
Hey,
Madhu.
Sudarshan.
Hi Vinod. Hi Vandit.
Hey, good morning.
Fine.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So today we'll start with the domains. First, we'll start with the demographic domain. Okay. So what this domain will capture? Demographic domain. In the demographic domain will capture the subject demographic information like gender, date of birth, age, country, race, ethnicity. When the subject was signed the informed consent. So informed consent signed date mainly. Okay. When the subject was for the subject when the treatment was started, when the treatment was ended. Okay. If subject was any death was happened, that death information also. Okay. So mainly these details will collect in a demographic domain. Okay. So the structure of the domain will be. So every domain have a unique structure. Okay. So here the structure is one record per subject. One record per subject means one subject will have only one record. For example, 101 subject or 102, 103, 104. If you take one subject, for one subject, will be having only one record, means one observation will be there in your final output data set. Okay, one record per subject. Clear? So that is a structure. In some other domains, one subject have many records also. For example, 101 subject. If you go and check an adverse event domain, here one subject have a fever, 10 subject have a cold, 10 subject have a headache. So in the AE domain, if you go and check, in AE domain, if you observe one subject have multiple records. Now, but in DM domain, it won't be like that. Here, one subject will be having only one record alone. Okay, so that is the meaning, one record per subject. Clear? Okay, so what is the topic variable in demographic domain? The topic variable is subject ID is the topic variable. Okay, so what are the identifier variables we have? Study ID, domain, unique subject ID is that identifier variables. Okay. Okay. So let me give all the list of variables we have in a demographic domain. First, I'll give the list, then I'll explain the each variable in details. Okay. So instead of typing, just take it from the other notes, all the list of variables. Okay. See, these are the variables we have in a demographic domain. Study ID, study identifier. domain abbreviation, unique subject ID, investigator ID, investigator name, RFIC DTC. One second. Sorry. See, RFIC DTC, inform consent date, RFPN DTC, end participation date, RFST DTC. So treatment start date, RFPN DTC, treatment end date, RFXST DTC. First study treatment, RFXT, last study treatment, arm, description of arm code, this is planned arm code, actual arm code, death date, death flag. Okay. So these are the variables, around 20 to 28 variables will be having in a demographic domain. So let us discuss about each variable in detail. Okay. First, study ID, study identifier. Study identifier is nothing but name of the study as per protocol. So the protocol name, the study name, every study has unique name. So who going to provide this one? Your sponsor will give this protocol name. Okay, in your protocol also, in your study also, every study have unique ID. It will be provided there. Who will give? It will be given by your sponsor. Okay, so protocol name for a name of the study as per the protocol. Okay, so you'll be protocol names will be like this. Okay, for example, your study name will be like this. Okay, CT 1AM. It's like alphanumeric names. Okay, RS CT 2B PM. Okay, it depends. Study name or protocol name will be. It depends on your project your work. It is simply a protocol name or a study name. Fine. Next, domain abbreviation. Abbreviation is nothing but, so which domain you are discussing? Now we are discussing about the DM domain, right? So we have to capture DM. For all the observations, you have to capture as a DM. Okay. Next, unique subject identifier. You have to derive unique subject identifier. How to derive? Your unique subject identifier, which is combination of three variables. One is your study ID, site ID, and subject ID. Study ID, site ID, and subject ID. Good. So what is study ID? Already we know here, study ID is nothing but your protocol name. Site ID is nothing but, what is site? See how site ID variable also was there in your demographic domain. Site ID is nothing but your site number. Site is nothing but what? Hospital, right? Where the clinical trials are happening, that hospital, every hospital has a unique number. For example, your hospital, you have your study is happening in 3 hospitals, 01, 02, 03. So like these observations, you will get it for site IDs. Okay, your subject IDs. Let us assume in your study, there are 100 subjects are there. Every subject have unique numbers. 101 subject, 102 subject, 103 subject. Okay, your study name is CT1A. Now, how to derive the unique subject ID? So your unique subject ID values will come like this. So it's a combination of your study ID hyphen your site ID. For example, 101 subject. We took the treatment at first site. Okay. Study ID, site ID, and subject ID. Okay. Same 102 subject also you took the treatment first site ID. So 102. Okay. Let us assume 103 subject you took the treatment at second site. So like this unique subject ID, you have to derive by combining the study IDs and site IDs and site IDs and subject IDs. Like this. Clear? It's a unique number you have to create. Even the subject itself is unique number. But subject ID, we won't derive in all the domains. Subject ID will derive only at demographic domain alone. But unique subject ID, you are going to derive in all other domains as well. Okay, in AE, LBVS, and other domains also. In every domain, you derive unique subject ID. So in some situations, you may get a situations like to combine any other domains, 1 or 2 domains if you want to combine. Sometimes your SV domain, SC domain, you will combine with other domains to derive some other variables. In that scenarios, to combine the 2 data sets, you need a common variable, right? So you are going to use this unique subject ID as a common variable. That's the reason this unique value or to derive, it should be derived in every domain. Okay. So you can ask me, sir, subject ID is a unique variable. Yes, subject ID also unique value actually. For every subject, you have only unique number. You won't give a subject number for 2 different subjects. You won't give a same number. We will give a definitely different number only. But subject ID, you won't derive in all the domains. That's the reason we are deriving unique subject ID in all the domains. It will be useful for merging any other data sets. Okay, clear? All these 5 variables. Everyone, clear? Anyone have any questions here?
Yes, Sudarshan, clear.
Okay, can I give one task here? Let me give one task. Okay. I'll give today a couple of tasks. So before come to the next class, complete those tasks and okay. See the task. Very simple task. So one data set I have. DM1 data set. It should contain 2 variables, patient and gender. See your gender details was like this only. Male, female, some are small, some are capital. Okay. Intentionally, I gave the data like this because it's a raw data. You won't expect how the gender values they could have populated. Okay. And this is the information you have. Your study name is GSK10182. Your site ID is 10101. You have to capture the domain as a DM. So this is the information you have. This is the input data set you have. You have to write a program to get this output data set. Okay. It should contain only these variables: study ID, domain, unique subject ID, and sex. This is how your output data set should come when I execute your program. Only these variables and variables should be in this order, and only these type of these observations are supposed to be clear. Very simple. Unique subject ID alone you have to derive by combining your study ID, site ID with the subject details. You'll get a unique subject ID, and sex variable you have to derive from the gender variable. Okay. Remaining analysis straightforward. Clear the task. So this is your input data set. Write a program to get this output data set. Okay, once again. Okay. Okay. Clear? First task. Anyone have any questions in the task? Mahbub, Swami, Ram, Vandit, anyone have any questions? Clear task? Yes, guys?
Yes, Sudarshan.
Then we'll move to the remaining variables. So the next variables. Investigator ID, investigator name. Okay, investigator name. Investigator is nothing but the doctors, correct? So it's a straightforward, either a doctor who treated the subject, the doctor or a nurse, or any senior doctors, or any clinical research associates. Associates, okay. So their name we have to capture. For example, Dr. Smith. Okay. So that every doctor have a unique ID. His ID will capture. Investigator name means doctor name. Investigator ID means his individual ID. Okay. Next. RFIC DTC. Reference informed consent date and time. Date and time. What is informed consent? What is informed consent? Yes.
Subject
agreement between the
between subject.
It's a legal document, right? It's a legal document, has to sign by the subject. So these are terms and conditions you have to sign. Like this, will take a signature from the subject, right? So that is. So when he signed that informed consent, the date we have to capture here. When the subject is signed the informed consent form, the date will be captured. Okay. But remember, okay, here all the dates, what is the rule? Should be date and time should be there in a character data type. Make sure you have to derive, okay, in the data type, whichever, either they will do character data type or numeric data type, you have to derive in a character data type, and it should be there in a standard format. What is the ISO 8601 format is there, right? It should be there in a standard format. Okay. What is the standard format? Remember? What is the standard format? ISO AS8601 DA dot or YYMMD should be there in a standard YYMMD. Your date should be there in this format. If you have only date alone. Okay. If you have date and time together is there. AS, you can use this one. AS8601 DD dot. So your if date and time is given, it should be there hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay. Clear? If your date alone is there, it should be there in standard format and should be there in character data type. So date and time together is there, it's there in a standard format and should be there in a character data type. Okay. So that is what RFIC DTC, informed consent date. Okay. So let me give one more task. So to practice on this RFICDTC dates. Okay. So let me give one more second. Okay. So this is your second task. You have two data sets. DM is one raw data set. ICF is one more raw data set. Okay. Combine these two, create one output data set. So here you have subject gender details. In this data set, you have 101 subject when you sign the informed consent, date details and time details. 102 when you sign, date and time separately it was there. You combine this DT and time variable and create a RFICDTC in a character data type and should be there in a standard format. Okay. Okay. So from the gender variable, you can derive the sex variable. From this DT and time variable, you can derive the RFICDTC. Okay. Just combine, you'll get this output data set. In my output data set, I require only these variables should be there in this order only. Okay. So this is your second task. Okay. Clear? Okay. So that is second task. Next. So these first we'll discuss RFSTDTC and RFENDTC. Okay. RFSTDTC. Subject reference, start, date, and time. Okay. Nothing but treatment, start, date, and time. Treatment, start, date, and time. Okay. Treatment subject. Started means for the particular subject when we started the treatment. Okay. Generally after screening, we'll give the treatment. After screening, randomization. Remember the flow. First screening we'll do. Then randomization. Then treatment, then follow. Correct? So, for a particular subject, when we started the treatment start date we'll capture. Okay? And what about RFENDTC? RFENDTC, it's a treatment end date. And study completion date also. So treatment date, end date, and study complete. Some subject will completed the study. Treatment completed after some weeks of follow-up, they completed the study also. Some subjects completed only treatment. Okay. For suppose if both the dates are available, take a note. If both treatment end date and study completed date, if both the dates are available, completed date are available, then we need to take study completed date as RFENDTC. Understand? Okay, this is both are different dates, end dates and treatment end date and your study completion date will be different. Check here. The study design also you will understand. See, for example, treatment started was here. In week 2, visit your treatment started here. See, week 4, week 8, week 12, week 18, week 24. In week 25, end of treatment. Treatment was done. So this is week 25, week treatment completed. After some days of follow-up, end of study. Here then week 29, study completed. So can I say both are different dates? Should one date will get in week 25, one for some subject will get a dates in a week 29. If subject will completed only end of study, only treatment if you completed, sorry. If you completed only treatment, you will get a treatment dates alone. Some subjects are completed the study also. So for those subjects, your study completed date you are going to get as a RFE and NTPC. Clear? So that's the difference. But your treatment start date will be always same. So this is your treatment start date. So when you are given the first treatment, the date going to be your treatment start date. Okay. Now, here some scenarios will be there. See the first scenario. So in a demographic domain, all the subject details will capture. Those who are involved in the study, all the studies subject details will capture. Some subject, okay. After sign the informed consent. After sign the informed consent, they will enter into the screening, right? So what we'll do the screening? We'll screen the subjects based on the inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria. Based on the eligibility criteria, we screen the subjects. So for example, if 100 subjects will come, only 60 subjects are screened. So what is that meaning? Remaining 40 subjects are failed in the screening. Okay. So for these 40 subjects, first of all, if subjects fail in screening, if subjects are failed in the screening, we call them as screen failures. Okay, remember this word. We call them as a screen failures. The subjects who failed in the screening, the subjects who failed in screening, we call them as a screen failures. Okay. Now the question is, for these screen failures, subjects, screen failure subjects, what is your RFS, TDTC and RFE and DTC? Can anyone tell me? What is the values you are going to get?
It should be null. Blank or
It should be null?
yeah.
Yes, it should be null, correct? Why? Because see, they're failed in the screening only. So they won't enter into the randomization stage, they won't enter in the treatment stage only. If we fail in screening, why will give the treatment to them? If we did not give the treatment, why will get the dates? You'll get a missing value. Okay, logically correct. So this is one scenario. The subjects who failed in the screening, we call them as screen failures. For the screen failure subjects, where RFST DTC and RFE and DTC is null.
Okay.
So then another scenario. After screening, now let us assume the 60 subjects are there. They are completed the screening. In the randomization stage, in running stage, if some people are dropped, if some people will drop, we call them as a unassigned subjects. Unassigned subjects. Okay. For these unassigned subjects, what is the RFSTDDC and RF? They are dropped, maybe any reason. Their personal reasons or due to any health issues, they dropped in a randomization stage. If they will drop, okay, what is the for these unassigned subjects, what is the RFSTDDC and RFLDDC?
Null values.
Null, sir.
For these unassigned subjects, again RFSTDDC, RFNDDC is null because they dropped here only. Let us assume 60 subjects are entering completed screening. Let us assume 10 subjects are unassigned. Their 10 subjects are unassigned subjects, means they dropped due to any reason. But these 10 subjects, again, RFSTDDC, RFENDDC is null because for this subject, we did not start the treatment. We did not give it the treatment. So you won't get the treatment start date, you won't get a treatment end date as well. Okay. So remaining all the 50 subjects, if remaining 50 subjects, they are entering the treatment. For those 50 subjects only, we will give the treatment start date and treatment end dates you can able to populate. Okay. That's it for the RFSTDDC and RFNDDC. Clear? So these two are very, very important variables. So let's give one task on this one as well. So it will be practice on this. Okay. There are two data sets you have. One data set, patient and gender details. Okay. In second data set, for each patient, what treatment it take. Okay. For example, 101 subject, it is the first treatment, DA. 101 subject. Okay. February 12th, February 5th, February 15th, and March 2nd. 102 subject, he took the treatment on February 13th. 102 subject. 103 subject. 104 subject. Like this, each subject treatment dates are available. Okay. So now you have to take these two data sets as input, write a program to get this output data set. Okay. See, observe here. 101 subject. Treatment start date. Treatment start date will be your RFSTDDC. Treatment end date should be your RFNDDC. See, observe for this 101 subject. The first date will be your RFSTDDC. The last date will be your RFNDDC. Like that. Again, 102 subject. 13th will be your treatment start date. March 4th is your RFNDDC. For 103 subject. Okay. This alone is enough. February 20th. Because only one date is. This is going to be your start date and end date. 104 subject. So February 13th start date, March 10th is the RFA. Okay. So take these two domains as input. Write a program to get this output data set. Very easy. Use a concept of first dot and last dot. You will get output data sets. Okay. If you take first dot, you will get RFSTDDC. If you take last dot, you will get RFNDDC. Then later combine both. Okay. So this is your
The two data is combined.
Yeah, you have to combine, right? Because you have
Yes.
male and female details, you have to sex variable you have to derive, right?
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Okay. Clear now? RF STDTC and RF ENDTC. Okay. So the next one, RF XXTDTC, RF XENDTC. RF XXTDTC, RF XENDTC. Date and time of first study treatment, date and time of last study treatment. Okay. Study treatment, start date and time in character data type. So this is going to be always study treatment entity. Always study treatment entity. So now tell me, what is the difference between RF STDTC and RF XSTDTC? I'm telling the same, right? Treatment start date, treatment end date. The treatment start here also study treatment start date. Here also study treatment start date only. Now, what is the difference between RF STDTC and RF XSTDTC? Even the RF ENDTC also, it's a treatment end date. It's also same. Okay. It's also always treatment end date. Okay. What is the difference? Okay. So let us understand the difference. For example, you are working for a one study. Let us assume you are working for an oncology study. Okay. In this oncology study, your study drug. Let us assume your drug X is your study drug. Okay. Study drug or a study treatment. Study drug or study treatment. Study drug or study treatment. Your drug X will be your study drug or study treatment. Now, so your investigator in the site, your investigator knows that if you take this drug X, subjects may get he may get a vomiting or he may get some headache or anything. So what he suggested, he suggested to, for example, let us assume anything. He may get a vomitings or any other. Depends on. Let us assume he'll get a vomitings. To avoid the vomitings, your investigator suggested to take the vomiting tablet. Okay, So what is that meaning? Okay, your investigator suggested that he suggested to take the support treatment. When before your exposure to your study treatment, okay, take this support treatment. Before taking your study treatment, take this support treatment. So when you are taking this support treatment, that's going to be your RFXSTDTC. When you are going to take this study treatment, it is going to be your RFSSTDTC. Okay, so let me clearly explain. See again, 101 subject, for example, is taking some vomiting tablet. Okay, let us assume he's taking the vomiting tablet on 2017-01 and 10th is taking the vomiting tablet. Okay, and the next day, let us assume this 101 subject, and the next day is taking the study treatment. 2017-01 and 11th is taking the study treatment. So when he is taking the support treatment, it's going to be your RFXSTDTC. When he is taking actual study treatment, it's going to be your RFSTDTC. Some scenarios, okay, some subjects may take, for example, 102 subject. Today only he took the vomiting tablet. Today only he took the study treatment also. So in that scenario, you will get both the dates will be same. Okay. So your RFSTDTC and RFXSTDTC will be same date in this scenario. So it depends on your study. Clear, understand? So simply I can say your supporting treatment date will be your RFXSTDTC, your normal study drug when you took the study treatment date when you took, that's going to be your RFSTDTC. But why I told you it's a study treatment started, because it's again your study treatment only, right? Your investigator only was suggested to take this treatment. You are not taking your own. If you take by your own, if any treatment, that's going to be your concomitant medication. Due to for your health issues, or due to any side effects, if you are taking some tablet, it's going to be your concomitant medication. It's not going to be a study treatment. Okay? Clear? Understand the difference between RFXSTDTC and RFXSTDTC? Clear, everyone? Then what is the difference between RFXCNDTC and RFENDTC? RFXCNDTC, RFENDTC. What I told you for RFENDTC, it's a start treatment end date and study completion date. Any of the date will come. If the subject completed the study, you'll get a study completion date. Only treatment completed means only treatment end date will come. But here it won't like that. It's always treatment end date. Whether subject completed the study or not completed the study, I'm not bothered. When the subject completed the treatment, always a treatment end date. Okay. So let us assume 101 subject, he completed the study. 01, 05 and 10th 01, 05 on 30th. He completed the study. It's going to be RFENDTC. When the treatment was completed, it's going to be your RFXCNDTC. For example, 102 subject, he not completed a study. Okay, he just completed the treatment alone. So that time, RFENDTC also will capture the NDDTC, the treatment end date. RFXCNDTC always treatment end date. Okay. So that's the difference between RFXCNDTC, RFENDTC. RF XC and DTC going to be always treatment end date. Your RF E and DTC either treatment end date, okay, end date, or your study completion date. Study completed date. So that's the difference between RF NDTC and XC NDTCs and RF STDTC and XSTDTC. Okay, actually these RF STDTC, XC NDTC, these are new variables. Previously these variables are not there. Recently they are added in the latest studies, latest implementation guides. Okay, so for us majorly this RF STDTC NDTC only important. Because going forward in all other domains also, we will use this RF STDTC only to derive some other variables in other domains. Okay, so this is only important for us. To this domain itself, only in the DM domain, we will use this RF STDTC, XC and DTC. Okay, clear? So that's the difference. Okay. Any doubts? Understand the differentiation? Any questions? Anyone? Okay, no doubt. See the last thing today. RFP and DTC, end participation date. Simple. So when the subject lastly participated in the study. So when and which dates and all you can consider. So for example, subject completed the study. So his study completed date will be your end participation date. No, subject not completed the study. We still follow up. So when you lastly follow up for him, the follow-up date. Okay. No, we just completed that particular subject, just completed the treatment alone. Treatment date. So when you give the last treatment, the treatment date. No, in the treatment stage, subject was discontinued. So the discontinuation date. The discontinuation date. Or else any death was happened, the death date. Okay. So any of these dates will come. Subject completed the study, study completion date will come. Now if still we are following, follow-up date will come. Okay, no treatment is doing when the last treatment was taken. No, it was discontinued. No, it was death was happened for a particular subject. So when the subject was lastly participated in the study, that date going to be RFP and DTC. Okay, clear? So the last participation date. That's it. That is what RFP and DTC. Okay. Okay. So that's it for today. So these variables are enough for today. So remaining variables we discuss in the next class. Okay. No need to hurry. So we'll discuss slowly remaining variables also. Okay. So before come to the class, complete this task and send me the mail. Okay. Don't forget do this task. Okay. Because all your tasks together only your project. Okay. So in the next class, I will give the project also. So when if you complete this task, even for other variables also, I will give the task. If you do this task, it was easy to do the project also for you. Okay. So that's it. Complete the task and send me the slides. I'll review in the next class and I'll explain the remaining variables in the next class. Okay.
Recording stopped.
Tomorrow we are having a class, sir.
Actually, tomorrow we don't have a class. I'm supposed to tell that one. Actually, not because of holiday. I'm tomorrow not available.
Okay, okay, sir.
So I'm out of station tomorrow, so I won't take class. Okay, we'll catch up on Friday. Friday we
Okay.
have class. Okay. Fine then. Thank you. If no
Thanks.
questions, that's it for today. I'll send the notes. Yeah. Thank you.